My name is John Sakkis. I'm going to read a little bit from my new book called The Islands from Night Boat Books. One night, after the happily of dinner, after they hadn't been found for some time later, but only the ones who found this, one of them was thinking about the toy car brought to his skin, which was given to feel the cold wheels spin, they said. On your forearm, on your back, they said. Come to the table, meet your cousins. You can't skip a rock through the house without starting fires. You can't set fire to the beach in the afternoon without boats. The house was a slobbering white giant, moving its bowels throughout the summer. The beach is an even playing field for insects, cousins, and boats. There are deserted beaches in the movies, meaning the fields are dirty but remain burning. The entire hotel is only accessible by boat or on foot. A small bay brings law and order to the beaches. You can't skip a rock through this wealth of water without surrendering the afternoon. Every meal ends up destroying boats with fires. The cousins sang an insect pastoral. The cousins sang an acre, a warehouse, a rock skipped across its belly bursting a thick red fire. We collect snails in the orchard eating, marble in the summer as slick as snow melting. The summer house naps and snails still stewing, eating verdant insects chirping, so much that, like the fishmonger, they double as smell. Such moths without sleeping, and days of one eminent, by means of, with scenes of the box too mistaken, by hearing the chants at night, rather to get the pieces at the right time among others, at a glance of what other, people could see they were ivory steps and ivory desk only color, an ivory slip his shared interest, ivory time around the turn, a small book of tangrams and correspondence facile, traces against rolling feet square the body top spinning full lead solved in seconds. The most boyish maneuver, or fewer strokes, is called a portes. Break in the ear in the warm, delicate hands of a cloth. One header said, note the book, flash in the pan. Becoming the pores of the tongue were large and gray, thrust to, inspecting in the mirror in the cheeks also was a silver crack of pores. Edging only that bifurcated sliver in, he said, watch the marble as it goes. Slipping onto its steps, that conference building, meeting the mayor who began to say his favorite city, the White City, and the water bringing a warehouse of clouds about the television crew, and as interviewing as the White City, almost always relying on the organ of others, as it goes with those boys at the hotel, and marble steps rolling into the peeling tits of swimming laps in front of the bay, not bulging Chapel Hill, who said it, was a photo of girls doing aerobics at the Hotel Alevas, ancient rubber from under their feet. The DJ Archimedes screw. One of his blockbuster, a large array of mirrors, you touch him and he mimes. Lifts water to higher levels, for irrigation often and Pavla with berries and whipped cream. So you're probably off with a hang-loose hand, drinking to introduce the first white-headed inferno, located next to invading Romans furiously whipping a carafe of Retsina, that he could take a marble-top table and be on the same television as that surgeon with a sprinkling of oregano and rolling sands, to fork out this ancient surgeon who performed Scully. I know what you're thinking. I burst into tears. I feared surgery as a castaway. She kissed forgeries on his force, so his death may have been bout retribution. Naxos. Move if you can make out her mouth sort of miming to BB, happy birthday, and handing him a big bottle which is to illustrate the progress of civilization up to the present day, that I was there when bought in Greek 4 packets of Corellia's Virginia, and brought back a big bottle fit for treason, stratagem, and spoils knocking the ball against the little house where I was born, beginning to see that too ugly make a pretty, moving upwards of a crooked village road, not 10 miles from the mud baths we read about, as well as a foundry, coal breaker, machine shops, and lighthouse. Mykonos. We explored them with great relish and obvious fascination for these generous bottles of Retsina, to post up our hut with 2 wicker chairs and tackling this yet unsolved problem of moving some girls who were crazy as a bat, sketched with sufficient boldness to find a construction of horses and riders clearly as legible as the dogs and foxes barking their way through those white alleys and little groupings to give it scope. He could hear the same ballad on all the radios, from the same ballroom with yellows and oranges.